YouTube. Ooh, honey. Today's show. Ooh, tell it. That's the title. We're talking DDG, Tory Lanez, even Diddy, and plus the West Coast fighting for their life. Ooh, I love it. Let's talk about it. Bye. Shout out to Jay Wilson. Talent! For those who know, knows. But anyway, hello everyone. Hello YouTube. Welcome to the I Am Miss Teal channel. Listen, this is a channel where thought-provoking conversations collide. Talking about my opinions, me having an opinion about my view, what I think about celebrities and politics. Nothing's law, just things that I think about. A conversation. I always wanted to have a platform where we can have real conversations, where we can have our own opinions. I know what I'm talking about. It's just my opinions from a fan's point of view. So now that we got that all out the way, I don't want to offend nobody. It's just my opinions. Leave a comment in the comment and tell me what you think. Let me hear your opinions. Thank you everyone who subscribed last week. Thank you so much. I see you. I love it. And if you haven't subscribed and you watch me every week, subscribe. What you waiting on? Quit playing. I'm gonna come every week. The old folks used to say, if the creek don't rise in the, I don't know, it's a South thing. If the creek don't rise and the sun up some, I'm gonna be here every week, honey. So thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I am Miss Tia. We got some great topics today. Ooh, let me run it down. Tory Lanez, DDG, the West Coast fighting for their lives, honey. And I think that's all I may be able to do. You know, I only got 30 minutes, so I'm coming in with my opinions. But let me get started. Kendrick Lamar, my brother, is headed to the West Coast. The tour starts back up again today, which is this, the 17th. And he would be in, where would Kendrick be? Hold up. I got it right. I got it for y'all. I got it. Kendrick will be in Seattle, Washington tonight, 7 o'clock at Lumen Field. So if you are not at the show, go get the tickets now and put the camera in his face. I want to see teeth. We want to see teeth. And West Coast, you know, the saying is a prophet is not honored in his own home. Now, don't make that word be true. Make it a lie, right? Show up for the boy. The East Coast, we came out, we showed up. Well, you know, I didn't get to go, but you know, I'm cheering from the YouTube, from the stream. So make sure West Coast, y'all get out every show, pack them out, sell them out, because he is one of you guys. And you know, we all love Kendrick Lamar. So make sure you get out of them. Speaking of West Coast, listen. The battle is on again. Not so much as just like a rap battle, but I'm really loving the sparring session that the West Coast, I would say West Coast versus Joey Badass, right? I love it. Joey Badass is from the East Coast. And to me, I think Joey Badass is having a great time coming out, just really annoying the West Coast, you know, just poking and messing with them, right? But recently, you know, if you guys pay attention, he really want to sit at the table with Kendrick for some reason. You know, everybody want to sit down with the king. But let me say this, Joey Badass, everybody don't get to sit down with the king. And we damn sure ain't finna turn our attention to you. We're at war right now. We got a lot of more places to go. And overseas is maybe a challenge for us. So we don't got time for little field work, honey. But in the meantime, you can spar. You can spar with the foot soldiers that's on the ground, but the king got work to do. But anyway, I've been loving the moment that Joey Badass been trying to bring attention to who he is. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Joey Badass for just poking and causing trouble for some of the West Coast, right? Okay, at first, let me bring this down. Hold on, let me bring this down. At first, I was kind of crazy. I was like, okay, I remember Joey Badass tried to start some trouble before. With the Rulers Back, right? You remember he started that one, and then Daylight came in with Hey Y'all, and then Rayvon came back in with Crash Out Heritage, which I thought was amazing. I love a good sparring session. I love to see how men and battle rappers think, and I'm telling you, these boys' bars was crazy. But again, Joey came out again with the Red Bull freestyle with one of my favorite West Coast artists right now, and this time Soul, right? And Big Sean, right? To me, I'm gonna say this. At first, I was like, is he going at the West right in front of Ab-Soul's face? But then when I saw this clip on Instagram come out, I said, okay, it was a Red Bull thing. They kind of fixed it up. They kind of knew which way they was going with this battle. So I understood. I was like, all right. But I love the fact that it was, let's put it on wax. Joey Badass is disrespectful. When the boy come off tour, that's all I'm gonna say. But Ab-Soul is really one of my favorites. Big Sean is cool too, but Ab-Soul, you guys, he's really one of my favorite. I don't know if y'all remember this, but this is one of my favorite Ab-Soul's freestyle. I think he did this with Colors. You can go to YouTube and you can find this. But this is one of my favorite freestyles from Ab-Soul. To me, Ab-Soul is more like a teacher. He gives me the teacher aspect. Now, I do believe he can spar and he can battle because he's just that unique. But to me, he's more of a teacher. His mind, it goes way beyond just a regular rapper. Something about those West Coast guys, they really sit in more the teacher seat. Maybe it's the region and the things that they go through out there that make them really look at things a little different. But to me, this is Ab-Soul's greatest freestyle to me. I think in one of the lines, he was like, they don't want us to combine. Listen, go over there and listen to that freestyle from Ab-Soul, y'all. Oh my goodness. I think Ab-Soul is kind of one of the best that does that when it comes to how his metaphors and just the growth. His bars are so mature to me. I told you he's a teacher, and plus Kendrick gave him homage of how he looked up to him when it came to how he speak and think of things. So come on, you have to give what's due. But anyway, the battle was good. Again, Rayvon came back after the Red Bull freestyle. He came back with Whole Era, which was good. Listen, Rayvon, shout out to Rayvon. When he did that, okay, what's up? Shut up. I was like, I went crazy. He had a lot of 5 bars in there talking about Dot, Pac-Man. I loved it. Why Rayvon give me somebody from the South? Where is Rayvon? Is he really a California native? But to me, he give me such this South era. But anyway, a lot of my people from the South migrated to California. A lot of my people. So maybe that's kind of why I'm feeling that way. Joey Badass came back after Rayvon did the Whole Era. He came back with Finals. Crazy. I wanted to fight Joey myself. Crazy. But, at the end of it, he talked about how, Kenny, I see you if you want to battle. So that lets me know it wasn't too serious. He really just want to get next to the king. Everybody want to touch and feel it. Everybody want to touch and feel it, honey. And he talked about one of the artists that was on TDE a while ago, Reason. Reason came back with Dad Apples. Like, where have these guys been? It's time for this. It's time for this. That Dead Apples that Reason did, changing the beats. I'm just like, I gotta go back and listen to the songs again. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to the West Coast. The West Coast, the West Coast is fighting for their life, saying we supposed to be here. Check it. We ain't going nowhere no time soon. So this is what I love about it. West Coast is like, we ain't going nowhere. This the new era, and we finna run for a while. So I love that the West Coast is fighting, honey, in the streets. You know, the West Coast known for fight. You know, they'll ride. They'll burn some shit down, baby. So I think this is a great example of who they are. But let me move on because, you know, I only got 30 minutes. And I really enjoy coming on every Saturday. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like, whatever you do, do it. Let's get into some more titles. Shout out to the West Coast. Fight, baby. Talent. Fight for your life, honey. Y'all know I'm silly. Okay, let's move on. Tory Lanez. Oh, my goodness. Let me see if I can find a picture. I got to find a picture of the lane, honey. The lane just cutting up. This is what I wanted to say, and I hope we can see this picture right. I wanted to say this about this. I see a lot of people saying it's new evidence, new evidence. Oh, I'm vindicated. It's new evidence. Listen, I think it's no new evidence. I think everybody pretty much knew what it was, right? I think because Tory Lanez had an incident, maybe a stabbing. I'm not sure. This is just being reported. So a lot of people are trying to petition and ask for Tory to be released from prison on false accusations. But this is what I wanted to say about the Tory Lanez. And I'm seeing that a lot of people are not being very responsible with their feelings, right? And their actions, and not even holding Tory Lanez accountable. Listen, I don't wish jail on anyone. That's why, see, I walk around and treat myself and act like a great citizen. See, and I try not to get involved in things that will cause me to become a fugitive, right? So that would be my advice for the young women and men who look like me. Try to conduct yourself where maybe you won't have to find yourself in these situations. But I wanted to say this. I don't feel like a lot of people are holding Tory Lanez responsible for his actions. And it's as sad as it is. This is things that we have to go through when we make certain decisions in life. Boys and girls, pay attention. You can learn something from him. First of all, Tory Lanez was a preacher's kid from Canada, where guns are even permitted. It's permitted. You can't even have guns in Canada. So how would he be able to adopt a lifestyle of such coming from a great man of stature like his father? Being a man of the cloth, right? But you know, old saying says, preacher kids are the worst. But anyway, Tory Lanez, I felt like he had a way to maybe help himself in this situation. So now that he wants to tell the truth, I think it's too late. I think Tory Lanez wanted to walk around with a persona of him being streets, honey. But the people who's really from the streets know the casualty of that war. Sometimes you go to jail, prison, and even death. That's the cost for that kind of living. That's an old school rule. Everyone knows that. But anyway, Tory Lanez chose to take he didn't take a plea deal. He wanted to take it to the box. That's what they used to say back in the day when we was coming up. The reason why I wanted to talk about this as well is I had a childhood friend who lost his life to a stabbing in prison. He didn't make it home. So as much as I want to reprimand Tory for his decisions, I also have a heart for him because I had a childhood friend who chose the wrong path, wanted to take it the wrong way, and right now he's resting in peace. He didn't make it home. He got stabbed to death. So I understand that part. But Tory Lanez had he had a place where he could have told the truth. And if the truth is someone else did the shooting, he should have said it. But because he wanted to carry a street stigma, a street jacket, he chose to take the deal or plea that came his way. Cat Williams said this on the Shay Shay show, if you remember this. He said, if you don't want to tell, lay down. My dad, he used to teach us, he said, when you out there in the streets, when they come, lay down. That's an old rule. Tory choose not to tell the truth, his truth, so he have to lay down. That's the way it goes. And I don't think a lot of people are saying what's true. And I don't hear a lot of people really giving a heart to Megan. No matter what happened, Megan was the one who was abused. She was a victim in this situation. No matter how you feel about her, someone shot a gun that night and she was injured. And no one is saying, oh man, Megan. Everyone is trying to take up for Tory. You know, our community love a Barabbas. There's nothing wrong. I know we all have family members that do stuff. We love a Barabbas, honey. Tory Lanez, you have to lay down. That's what you chose to do. That's the streets. That's why everybody ain't so street until they don't want to be, right? But unfortunately, you don't get that option once you chose that blue or red pill. Listen to this. I said, he didn't even have to take, he didn't have to get that much time. He chose not to take the plea deal. He wanted to go to the box. So that's what caused him to be this way. Courtroom, why his children. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about today. That's something else. But that's my thing about the Tory Lanez. I'm so sorry. And plus, I think Tory Lanez was not being very responsible with what was going on with him in prison. Every week he was on the phone calling back home, foaming home, being very messy and childish to the point where a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna say this. He got a restraining order while he was incarcerated. Who does that? Huh? So everybody want to go and petition to the governor, which I don't think it would work, because Tory Lanez received a charge in jail. So you gotta hold Tory Lanez accountable for his mishaps. Even if he could get off on good, let's say if he was, what they call that, good conduct, right? He couldn't, because he got charged while he was there. He couldn't stay off the phone every week, calling home, rapping about the situation when he was specifically told to stop, and he wouldn't. I'm sorry, you guys. You guys are not great fans or people who love this young man. You're not telling them the truth. And I'm mad at his father for not speaking that way as well. No one told Tory Lanez, hey man, get off the phone. This is not a good look for you. If you want to try to get off on great conduct, you're not showing it. See, no one is holding him responsible. Fans, I owe it to you. DDG speaking. You was the main one on the phone with a rhyme. Megan, hush. Sit on your hands. Back in the day, they used to get 10 years. They say, I stand on my head with that. Stand on your head. Quit calling home. You got to show the people that you're changed. You know how this goes. You're not showing that. And I don't think a lot of people are telling him the truth. And this is the result of Tory Lanez's actions. Calm down. Relax. This is the life you chose. This is the streets. So tell it. I need the people to tell the truth. Tory Lanez pulled a lot out of me. Because like I said, I had a friend, he passed, he died. His situation was, I think it was a shooting, and he tried to bribe the family. And he didn't want to take the plea deal. He went to the box, and they gave him almost 30 years. He didn't make it home. Recently, they buried him. He didn't make it home. So it hits me different, because I've seen this. You know how many people are taking deals for other people that they shouldn't have, but they're trying to hold a persona called streets? I enjoy being a productive citizen. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Tell the truth. Tell it. Diddy versus the Gov. I don't know if you guys looking at this. I'm trying to watch it. It's everywhere. I'm going to say this. There's a lot of YouTubers that's in the courtroom. They got great commentary. Go over to their channels, patronize them, drop something on their head. and enjoyed. I watched a couple of people. I think one of the guys that I've been watching recently, he's been good. I wanted to shout him out. I think his podcast is called The Podcast with Soul. He's a guy from New York. I've been really liking his commentary. And another place I also look for my news, I look to the live from Fox. They really give great details about what's going on bit by bit, moment by moment in the courtroom. So those two places are what I watch. The Diddy. My thing about the Diddy, I said, who are these people? Let me see if I can find y'all a picture of the Ditster. And who is it? Cassie? I don't know if I got a picture. Do I got a picture? Cassie and Diddy, honey. Taking the world by storm. Y'all can't see this. Y'all can't. But anyway, who are these people? Who is Cassie? I always try to say, who are these people? What's the beginning of their life? How did they end up in these positions? Who are their parents? I always go back to the beginning for sometimes when you see people in situations, you say, well, how did they get there? So that was my thing about the Cassie. How did Cassie become into this industry so young? Who was her parents? How did she get here? I even questioned and I said, was Cassie one of those trafficking kids? Was she an escort? Who is Cassie? How could a young lady who's so beautiful, right? And become this situation. She became almost a sex slave for the industry? Crazy. And then I said, who is Diddy? How was Diddy chosen for this moment? Who chose Diddy for this moment? And who taught Diddy these things? You know, I'm from the black community. You know, it's some scary stuff there. But we don't always do this kind of stuff. Recently, the new blacks, y'all getting a little nasty. But back when I was coming up, maybe my daddy protected me a lot. Because, you know, I heard stories. You got stories of people being abused in their homes by their relatives. We know that, right? But all of this demonic and drug fuel, overly sexualizing things that Diddy's been doing in this courtroom that I'm hearing, it's very crazy. Listen, I wrote a couple of things down, but I really don't want to get into it. Listen, go and check out the court case is live. A lot of people are coming back, giving their opinions and talking about what's going on in the courtroom. I had a couple questions out here, but I just really think it's weird. I really think young black men pay attention. And then this is what I want to say. How would we treat Diddy if he get off, if he is acquitted? How would the community treat Diddy? Would you guys love him again? Would he be able to just come back home? Dad is home. Would he be able to come and do that without a side eye? Would you hide your daughters? Huh? Would he just be able to just walk back into the fold like nothing ever happened? How would you as a community feel? I told you, you guys love a Barabbas. Y'all love a Barabbas, honey. And I know somebody saying, well, who is Barabbas? This is when Jesus was getting crucified, but the people wanted to relieve the murderer. They wanted to let the sexual offender off instead of Jesus, the person who they saw that was saving the community. They was asking for the predator to be free. This is how we so wrong. This is how the community is so wrong all the time. We like for the predators to be free. Weird. So how would you guys allow Diddy to fall back in the fold if he's exonerated? Huh? That's the question. That's the question that you need to ask yourself. But we used to sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner with the molester of the family. It's normal for this community. I said it. Oh, we going there this morning, honey. We're going there. We used to sitting at the dinners, knowing Uncle to molest everybody in the family, and nobody says anything. So how you guys are gonna allow Diddy to come back in? Are you gonna allow Diddy to come back in? Will he be Mr. Party again? Huh? Yeah. Let's move on. I don't have about a minute. And I think I got 20 minutes and I got to go. DDG and Holly. Young love, right? Young people who have the eye and the spark for entertainment and not so much of each other. I don't think DDG liked it Haley no more than maybe she liked him. It was more of lust than anything, right? Right? Do you agree? I don't think DDG liked it Haley enough to say, I would love to marry you and make you my forever. No! DDG is an opportunist. He loved the spotlight. So if anybody gets with DDG, just know you will be second to his moment. And I think Holly wanted a moment as well to be, she's looking for to be the moment. As beautiful as she is, you may not believe this. A lot of girls like her are very insecure. So you'll find yourself dealing with men like this just to have a moment. Oh yeah. Listen, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm blaming both. I'm that type of person that holds people to their shit, right? I'm blaming both. Both are responsible for the moment of fame. Both of them wanted the moment of fame. And they chose each other just for that. Oh, yes. Now you put a baby involved. Go back to one of my old episodes. I talked about it. They didn't need a kid. They did not need a kid. They are kids. And so now you put a baby in the mix of people who just wanted the moment. Oh, bad recipe. Bad recipe. But anyway, DDG got a restraining order against him. This is what I got this from the Shade Room. It says Holly Bailey granted restraining order after accusing DDG of abuse. Rapper required to stop posting and streaming about her and their child. That was one of the things I think DDG misread. She didn't like the fact that the child was on the internet. But that's DDG's way of income. That's his income, his life, Haley. So this is why I have to hold Haley, to some of the, she have to hold some of this stick because this is who this man was. His income is his life. He streams his life. Girls, y'all don't get to get off. Y'all making these crazy decisions too. You gotta watch a person to know who they are before you decide to go this far with them. She don't get off the hook. And a lot of people thinking that people are not holding Holly responsible, but we are. I'm just saying this to the young women. You gotta know these men before you get in bed with them. And DDG was known to be a man. He's a streamer. His life is everything to him. His life and everybody is around him. You guys are casualties to him. I said this before. I'm going to say it again, DDG. But listen, recently he was on the stream last night and he was talking about how he's taking his anger out on Soulja Boy and Ray J, which is normal, right? He can't talk about Haley. So what you do, you put your attention to somewhere else where you can kind of get off on. So recently he's talked about how Soulja Boy and Ray J would never be big as him. Oh, DDG. I beg the difference, honey. Let me see if I can find it, because I want y'all to go straight to this stream where he was. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to try to see if I can find it. He was on this stream here last night. Oh, gosh. My stuff ain't never together. But he was talking about how, this one right here. He was talking about how Soulja Boy and Ray J would never be big as him. Oh, honey. I want to say this to the DDGs and the new kids on the block. It's because of the Soulja Boys that you guys got the blueprint you got. As crazy as Soulja Boy is, and as funny that you hear him say, I'm the first. He's right. He is. The blueprint that you guys are running on, he opened those lanes. The internet was really formed around Soulja Boy. If you think about it, with this era, he was the first one to be able to use the internet to his advantage. This is why I think he would probably be rich forever. He was one of the first ones to capitalize. So not only DDG that he is bigger than you, but the lane that you think you're riding, he made it. You can go to the Drakes of the world. They used the blueprint of the Soulja Boy. Nicki Minaj even used it. Oh, Sexy Red My Knees. My niece, Sexy Red. She even had to pull the Soldier Boy template out to make a moment. So not only DDG is he bigger than you, but he created the lane that you guys are riding in. And Ray J was one of the old children's stars. When he came on the what was that, Moesha show, he became the biggest person at the moment, bigger than Moesha. So Ray J do a lot of things that a lot of people don't even know. He opened lanes and bring ideas to the people. Why you think he there? Oh, go do your research, young man. That lane you riding in, you didn't invent that, honey. Those guys, the Soldier Boys, the Ray J's, they opened the door for that lane for you to succeed and go farther. Take a break, honey. Take a break. Don't you think? I think DDG need to take a moment. With so much going on in the internet, he shouldn't even want the child on the internet. You guys have so much with the sex trafficking, and I hope I can say that, the children being exposed to people who's just sick through this internet. I don't know if you guys remember this, and I meant to take a picture of it, but I don't know if you remember when Tahaji Brown, the Senate judge, when she got inducted into being a judge, one of her things that the Republicans was on her about, they felt like she gave light sentence to sexual offenders. They felt like she didn't give harsh sentences to people who abuse children and people. Go back and look at it. This is history. This was her challenge. They was challenging her bad to the point that this may have been a reason that she wouldn't have gotten the seat if she couldn't justify why she thought and did the things she did. Because if you think about it, sometimes you guys, sex offenders, get less time than murderers. And if you can sexually assault a person, that destroy a person's mind for a long time. It can also make them be abusers as well. So her issues with the Senate, they were saying, why didn't you give harsher sentence? And when you think about it, they're right. So listen, deep today, right? But all of the topics today, I had to go here to make you see this. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about each one of these topics. Tory Lane, Diddy, DDG, even the West Coast. But serious. This stuff is serious. Tell it. Would Diddy tell the truth? How he learned? Would DDG go back and apologize and think different? Would Tory Lane finally take himself accountable? I'm watching, and I hope you are too. Once again, thank you for joining me for this conversation. This is an opinion-based show. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next week.